Is it proper? The entire screen? No. Okay now? Let me know. Can someone spotlight my another logged in that I have done, so that on the screen it will be visible for you in a bigger number? Soham, Kunal. Soham, do you know how to spotlight?
No, sir, please guide me.
No, sir.
You have to click on your name. There are that is on my name, and that there are 3 vertical dots, and on that 3 vertical dots, when you click, it shows at spotlight. I'll show you the example. So now I have clicked on your name, and on your name I have tapped it as spotlight. So your name will be spot. Now everyone can see Soham screen. So in this way you have to do. Stop spotlighting. How can I do it for myself?
सर तुमचं स्क्रीन पिन केल्यावर दिसतं सर.
I think sir मोबाईल वरून करा.
सगळ्यांना दिसतंय का पिंग केलं ते कॅमेराची स्क्रीन?
Yes, sir.
Then everyone ping that screen so that it will be good visible for you. Because I cannot see spotlight for myself. So I am wasting my time. Very good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Sanket Charka from Singapore Institute, Pune, Savitribai Phule, Pune University. We are starting with our topic that is with relate to costing as a major consideration. So what are the different types of costs that have been associated in a work culture or in a business environment while during or dealing with economics perspective? What types of cost you have to consider? In my last lecture or the previous presentation, we have seen the first concept of opportunity cost and the actual cost. So an example that we have undertaken is, for example, you have to purchase commodity A. Now when commodity A has to be purchased, what do? We identify different options that are available. A commodity that is a raw material available in Pune at the rate of rupees 20, raw material available in Delhi at rupees 21, a raw material available in Delhi, for example, in Gujarat at at the rate of 22, and raw material available in Jammu and Kashmir at the rate of 11. So which option is best feasible? So in this way we have to find out all the factors of production, the transportation cost, the labor cost, and so on. When all these factors have been considered, then we come to a certain conclusion that the raw material has to be purchased from Jammu and Kashmir, and accordingly it has to be sourced from that location. So finding the difference between the two components of a cost, differentiation between 20 and 21, 21 and 22, and 20 and 11, and in this way selecting the best possible alternative which will be suitable or profitable to the organization. That particular consideration will be called as an opportunity cost. Actual cost is that consideration wherein which you have considered for a specific period or for a specific location. So actual cost of raw material. So the actual cost of raw material will be, now here in this case, the difference between the two components or two commodities is the opportunity cost, and the individual cost will be called as an opportunity cost. So here in this case, rupees 20, rupees 21, rupees 22, and rupees 11 will be the opportunity cost that will be associated with the organization or with a particular product that you are looking for. Now moving further, next this was the concept of actual cost and opportunity cost that we have seen for. Now moving towards the second point, the second example, we have direct and indirect cost. Direct cost is that particular cost which is associated with the factors of production or with the manufacturing concept. Now in terms of your balance sheet, when you are studying trading account, profit and loss account, and balance sheet, so at that stage you have a certain consideration called the understanding of what is direct cost and what is indirect cost. Now different bifurcation, direct cost and indirect cost. Direct cost specifically, which is completely related to production activity. So production, manufacturing, distribution, and or only related to such type of activities wherein actual material is into progress, actual material is into manufacturing. All that particular type of cost is called as an direct cost. Indirect cost is that particular type of cost which is supporting to the direct cost. So any activity which has been undertaken for supporting to the direct activity. And what is the direct activity? The direct activity relates with the production, manufacturing, distribution, supply of the raw material and processing of raw material. Such type of activity is called as a manufacturing or supply or manufacturing or production activity. So any activity, any cost which has been incurred, any cost which has been spent by an organization for supporting the direct cost is called as an indirect cost. Which are the different types of indirect cost? Indirect cost is, for example, your payment of salary, your payment of salary to the people, payment of wages, payment of insurance premium, payment of rent, rates, taxes, and so on. So profit and loss account debit side, it completely falls in the concept of indirect cost, and your trading account debit side completely falls in the concept of direct cost. So in this way, direct cost and indirect cost is been associated. Indirect cost, majorly it is been divided into 3 or 4 categories. First thing is called as an administrative cost. Next thing is the overheads, and lastly selling and distribution cost. So in this way, the 3 factors or 3 components of the indirect cost, and the direct cost majorly called as a prime cost or factory cost. So any prime cost, which is a cost which has been related to the actual manufacturing, that is purchase of raw material and procurement of labor. Such type of cost is called as a prime cost. And factory cost, any cost which has been associated with the manufacturing activity of a particular factory, that type of cost is called as a factory cost. So in this way, we have 2 type of consideration, which is a direct cost and which is indirect cost. Next, we'll look explicit and implicit cost. So explicit and implicit cost is a now certain types of cost wherein what do we say, that every product or every category or every article that we are manufacturing, for every sense that a particular cost is either included in it or a particular cost has been excluded from that particular consideration or the valuation. Now explicit cost is that particular type of cost wherein we say that specifically for a specific purpose, specifically for a specific activity, you are incurring that particular cost, then that particular cost is called as an explicit cost. Explicit cost is a consideration wherein the organization does not have any option with respect to whether the cost can be whether the cost can be escaped or whether the cost cannot be escaped. The company or the organization or the firm has to compulsory incur this particular type of cost, and the cost cannot be escaped by the organization. Such type of cost is called as an explicit cost. Implicit cost is that particular type of cost which is completely related with the organization, and the organization has to undergo or the organization has to incur this particular type of cost wherever it is been required. So here in this case, explicit and implicit cost are different type of costs which have been associated with the organization, which either the firm can increase, or that is spend, or the either firm cannot spend, depending on the nature of the product or nature of the factor or nature of activity that you are undertaking. You have to decide about which activity has to be undertaken and which activity is not to be undertaken. Next we have past and future cost. So in this way, you can understand by the meaning itself, you can understand which is a past cost and which is a future cost. Past cost is that particular type of cost which has been incurred for a past activity, and future cost is but that particular cost which has been incurred for a future activity. Now I'll explain this concept with an example. Purchase of machinery. Now what do you want to do? You have to purchase a certain machinery, and this particular machinery is costing rupees 10 lakhs rupees. So machinery costing rupees 10 lakhs has to be purchased, and for the manufacturing purpose it is mandatory that you want to purchase this machinery because it is an essential need or essential requirement because in absence of this the manufacturing activity cannot be undertaken. For the sourcing of rupees 10 lakhs, what happened? You have approached two financial institutions. One is State Bank of India and another is HDFC. So these particular two banks, they are equally divided and everyone is giving you the amount of rupees 5 lakhs. 5 lakhs has been given by SBI and HDFC is giving you 5 lakhs, and in this way the amount of 10 lakhs has been sourced out. Over a period of time, what happened? Again, what does the condition, what does the bank lays a certain condition stating that this particular amount is not available in a wholesome amount, that is entire amount is not available. So we'll be giving this particular amount in terms of installment, that is 2.5 and 2.5, and again 2.5 and 2.5. So in this way, in two slots or two installments, the amount is available, or you can take example as 3 and 2 or 2 and 3, whatever. So the bank gives you a certain division. Now, accordingly, what happened? You contact your respective vendor. The costing or the valuation of the machinery is rupees 10 lakh. You contact that particular vendor and you ask for a certain concern about when the machine can be delivered. Now, here in this case, what the person is saying, this machine can be delivered only when 50% or the 40% or the 30% of the payment has been done. Now, out of this 10 lakh, what is the 50%? 50% becomes 5 lakhs, 40%, so on, and 20%, 30%. You make a proper division of this particular amount. 40% will be 4 lakh, 60% will be 6 lakh, and so whatever terms and conditions that has been related between the buyer and seller that you are looking for. A condition that was been set is, for example, 50% amount has to be made, and then we can give you the delivery of commodity or the machinery that has been incurred. Now here in this case, what happened? Now the situation is changing. How the situation is changing? You have approached State Bank of India. State Bank of India is giving you 2.5 lakh, and HDFC is giving you 3 lakhs. So 3 plus 2 becomes 5, that is 5.5 lakhs are available with you. You go to the particular vendor, accordingly you place this certain order, you make the payment of rupees 5 lakh, and accordingly you get or you purchase the machinery. Now, whenever you purchase this machinery, what happens? You have already got the delivery of the goods and services and your manufacturing activity starts. Now, what is the remaining amount? The total cost of the machinery was rupees 10 lakh. Remaining amount is rupees 4.5 lakh. Now, this particular 4.5 lakh is a certain cost that you have to incur, that you have to spend, that you have to give to the certain person from whom you have purchased this machinery. So, this 4.5 will be called as an future cost. So, in future, you have to incur this particular amount. In future, you have to spend this particular amount over a period of time. So, in this case, what happened? You pay that particular person and a certain amount of money, and that particular certain amount of money, whichever you pay in future, is called as an 4.5 lakh is a future cost. Reverse or in another sense, now for example, as on today you have purchased this machinery of costing rupees 10 lakh, you have made a payment of rupees 5 lakhs as per the terms condition that was been decided. What is the amount due? The amount due that is available is 50,000, because the deal was been made, the agreement between the parties is only for rupees 5 lakhs for payment of the consideration, that is only 50%. Now remaining 50,000. Now how the installment has been divided? That the person will pay 5 equal installments every month. 5 equal installments every month means it becomes only 5. So 5 lakhs initially you have paid just now, that is in the month of March. Here, in the month of March you have paid April, May, June, July and August. So in this way you are paying 1 lakh each, 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh and 1 lakh. So here in this case, what happened? Now what you are doing, you have brought up a certain division, and based on the certain division, based on the certain installments, you are going to pay to the vendor 1 lakh each in each of the respective amount. Now in the case of March, what happened? You have an additional amount of rupees 50,000. So what you are doing in the on 1st of April, you are paying 50,000 to that particular vendor, and in the month of April, but what you are doing, out of this particular amount, already 50,000 is paid. Now what you are doing, you are paying only 50 lakhs of 50,000 amount. 50,000 amount. So here in this case, it is a past cost that you have paid for a certain consideration, that is what that was into existence. Your deal was already signed, your agreement was also already signed in the month of March, but accordingly what happened, you have not paid a certain sum of money, and in order to pay a certain sum of money which was been due, you are paying a certain amount which is related to your past purchases. So any amount which is been paid for a certain past purchase, that amount is called as an past cost. So future cost is the composition of the entire total valuation. So either you pay 5 lakhs or either you pay 5.5. The valuation will remain same. That is, you have to pay 5 lakhs to in total of rupees 10 lakhs to that particular vendor. And in this case, either if you pay over a period of time in a total lump sum amount, then it will be called as a future cost. Or if you pay in a certain small installments for a past period, that is, what was the past period? That is, the period was starting from the month of March, and you are paying in the month of April, May, June, and July, and a particular installment. For example, in the month of May, there was no amount available with you. The bank did not give you that particular finance. And in the month of June, the total the initial amount was due was rupees 1 lakh, and the amount of May was also due of rupees 1 lakh. Then accordingly, you club this particular installment, and accordingly you make the payment of rupees 2 lakhs for this particular consideration. So here in this case, the payment of the installment of June or the payment of the installment of May together of 2 lakhs will be called as a past cost that has been incurred. Clear with these concepts? Or any difficulty, any questions for anyone? Hello? Are you there?
Yes, sir.
I'll rub it. Next we have past and future, real and prime cost. So prime cost already I have given. Prime cost is a consideration which is included in the direct cost. So direct cost is a particular consideration wherein it is having a major or different types of components which have been associated with respect to the costing. Now, in terms of direct cost, what is the consideration? Direct cost includes the concept of prime cost, factory cost. So out of this particular consideration, prime cost में आपका क्या आएगा? That is direct material, direct wages, and so on. So all this particular consideration which is related with the direct cost or which is included in the prime cost is called as the direct material, direct labor, direct wages, and so on. So the direct material, direct labor, and direct wages. So these are the components of the prime cost, and prime cost is being included in the concept of direct cost. So a further division which has been explained for you. Real cost is but that particular type of cost which has been incurred over a period of time, that is on a regular basis, on a regular interval. Now real cost, for example, a particular consumption of electricity. Now electricity consumption is a particular consideration wherein as much as you consume, that is, if the consumption is 200 units, then accordingly the bill will be charged. If the consumption is 500 units, then accordingly the bill will be charged. If the consumption is 1000 units, then based on the consumption, that is based on the real valuation of the goods and services, the cost will be charged for you. Or another example with respect to the real cost is a consideration wherein in a particular market, what happened? You have to purchase different commodities. Now, whenever you want to purchase different commodity, that is, for example, you want to purchase plastic, you want to purchase iron, you want to purchase steel, and so on. So what do? You compare the rates, you find out the rate what has been prevailing into the market, and based on the consideration, you start quoting a certain orders. That is, market rate is, for example, 2.5 per sheet, or iron ore is rupees 10 rupees per kilo, or steel is rupees 500 rupees per kilo, and so on. So based on the market rate that is available, based on the rate that has been set by the or decided by the government, you quote a certain price, and that particular price which has been quoted is called as a real cost. So real cost is that consideration or that particular type of cost which is been identified, which has been defined by the certain consideration. So the costs which are actually incurred by the payment of labor, material, plant, building, machinery, equipments, traveling, transport, all these type of expenses is called as a real cost or actual cost which you are incurring. Now the case is the actual cost are total money expenses which are recorded in the books of accounts. So what do? You are recording all these different types of cost in your books of accounts. So now in case of your accounting, you have seen 3 different types of account: personal, real, and nominal. So real cost was that particular type of cost which was incurred on your asset acquisition. So if you want to increase the asset of the organization, if you want to increase the valuation of the organization, what do? You start acquiring different assets. Now the cost that has been incurred for acquisition of different assets is called as a real cost or the actual cost that is into existence. So it is basically the term of accounting wherein you have to increase the valuation of the organization. Whereas in other hands, in comparison to the real cost and the direct cost, what we have seen, or which you call is a prime cost, which is incurred for the production activity. So any product, any activity which is undertaken for the production purpose, and cost that has been incurred for that particular purpose or motive, that cost is called as a prime cost or direct cost. Components, that is direct material, direct labor, and direct expenses. So any activity, any expenses related to the manufacturing activity, it's called as an prime cost. Escapable and unavoidable. So by the name itself, you can identify, you can see what is the meaning of this particular type of cost, whether that is which is a cost which is escapable and which is the cost which is unavoidable. So the cost which can be reduced by contraction in business activities, that is cost that are called as an escapable cost. So escapable cost is a particular consideration wherein if you change a certain business activity, if you change a certain transaction, if you change a certain mode, and if this particular cost can be escaped or it can be avoided, then that particular type of cost is called as an escapable cost. Major example now in terms of your balance sheet or in terms of your trading and profit and loss account, all the costs that have been incurred in case of an indirect nature. The direct cost is a particular consideration wherein there is no option for you, you have to incur this particular type of cost. But in case of indirect cost, you can escape these particular activities, that is taking the premium policy for employees, telephone expenses, electricity expenses, water charges, traveling and transportation charges, and so on. So all type of expenses which are of indirect nature, this particular type of cost can be escaped, that is you can avoid this particular type of cost. So that particular type of cost which can be escaped, which can be avoided, wherein if you see that if they are not profitable to the organization and if you feel that they are creating a losses, then accordingly you can avoid those costs. So in another sense, for our another explanation to it is, if you find that a particular cost which you are incurring, it is creating or additional expense to the organization, it is not increasing the profits, it is not increasing the revenue for the business, then accordingly you can avoid, you can control that particular type of cost and it can be also avoided. Next we have is the unavoidable cost. On the other hand, the cost which do not vary with the change in the level of production or which remains same over a period of time, such type of cost is called as an unavoidable cost. So any type of cost which cannot be avoided by the business firm, it has to be incurred by the business organization, whether your demand increases, whether your supply increases, whether the manufacturing activity increases, decreases, whatever may be the change in the business organization. What do you have to see? If the type of cost that you are looking for, if it has been incurred for a specific period, for a specific point of time, and it cannot be avoided by any of the person that is into existence, then such type of cost is called as an unavoidable cost. So whether whatever changes have been taken into consideration, if the cost is not avoided, if you have to see that the cost has to be incurred whether at every place or every point of time, then we can say that the cost cannot be avoided and hence the cost has to be incurred by the firm or by the business. So here in this case, the cost which is not avoided by at any level, whatever the production activity may be. Now the production activity depends from person to person. Now what are those person? That is a particular department may have a good capacity, a particular department may not have good capacity, a particular production activity may increase. That is today you may feel that a particular production activity is in a control position, or tomorrow the production activity is not in a control position. The consideration with respect to increase in manufacturing or production activity. That is, today you are manufacturing 10,000, tomorrow you may need to manufacture 20,000, and hence in this way the production activity can increase. So if the production activity has been increasing, so that accordingly the purchase of raw material, procurement of the raw material, the supply of labor, supplies of factors of production, everything keeps on increasing simultaneously. So here in this case we have to see about what consideration we have to see, what are the various activities that have been involved, and how do you. Your video is highlighted for me. Just a minute. So at this stage you can find out and you can see about whether the cost can be incurred or whether the cost cannot be incurred, and hence it can be called as an avoidable or unavoidable cost. Next we have is fixed and the variable cost. So concept of the fixed and the variable cost we'll take with an example. Fixed cost, that particular type of cost which remains fixed over a period of time and it does not changes, whatever may be the changes in the production, whatever may be the changes in the activity level, and so on. So for a certain period per given output, the costs which are remaining fixed, whatever may be the volume of production. If the volume of production increases, if the volume of production decreases, the cost of this particular consideration, such type of nature which did not change over a period of time, such type of cost that is taken into consideration is called as an fixed cost. So whether there is a variation in production activity, whether there is variation in the market rate, whether there is a change in the demand and supply, the cost remains the fixed and it does not changes whatever changes with respect to the internal and external factors have been undertaken. Such type of cost is called as a fixed cost. Variable cost is that particular type of cost which keeps on changing as per your consumption. So whether your consumption increases, whether your consumption decreases, the cost changes according to your consumption, and accordingly you have to pay a certain sum of money to that consideration. So the costs that change with the change in the total output are known as variable costs. So variable cost is that particular consideration wherein if the amount of factors of production, if the amount of quantity increases, then accordingly the variable cost will start increasing. If the amount of factors of production of the supply decreases, accordingly your cost will start reducing. So as per the consumption, the cost increases, or as per the not consumption, the cost decreases. Such type of frequency, such type of flexibility in the cost with respect to your consumption, it's called as the variable cost. Short run cost and the long run cost. The name itself depicts the meaning of this consideration wherein what is the meaning of short run cost and what is the meaning of long run cost. Short run cost and long run cost are that particular type of cost which has been incurred for a short period of time depending on the size of the firm. So if the size of the firm is very less, then accordingly the cost that will be required is also very small, and accordingly hence it is called as a short run cost with the variations in the output. So if the firm is very small, if the production activity is also very small, and the business undertaking that has been considered is also very small, then accordingly you will be incurring short-term cost. Similar to now this concept of short-run cost and long-run cost is quite similar to the fixed cost and variable cost. So in case of a short-run cost, the combination will be with the variable cost. In case of long-run cost, the combination will be with the fixed cost. Long run cost. Now long run cost are that particular type of cost which have been incurred on various types of acquisition of fixed assets. So there are various fixed assets into organization, and for such type of acquisition of fixed assets, what do you need? You need a large amount of money. So when large amount of money has been incurred, it has been required, then accordingly what do? We need a good amount of funding or sourcing from the different agencies. Such type of funding or sourcing from the agencies wherein you are trying to find out about what a cost can be required over a period of time. Such type of costing activity is called as either the short run cost or either as the long run cost. Next, we have the concept of business and full cost. So business and full cost is that particular type of cost wherein the cost which is being incurred for a specific business activity. That is, you are incurring a certain cost for a certain purchase of raw material, procuration of raw material, supply of labor, transportation of certain goods, packaging, delivery, movement of goods from one place to another place, and so on. So here in this case, a particular type of cost which has been incurred for a specific business activity, that type of cost is called as a business cost. Full cost is that particular type of cost or consideration wherein which has been incurred for the entire organization as a whole. So a complete business activity, business expenditure budget that has been prepared, and a particular cost that has been incurred for that particular place or origination, it's called as a full cost. Incremental cost and sunk cost. Okay, a very good topic for you to understand what is meant by incremental cost and sunk cost. Incremental cost is that particular type of cost which has been changing over a period of time, where whatever the amount of level of your consumption increases or decreases. So the incremental cost adds to the existing cost and also get associated with the marginal batch of the output. So if the production activity increases, if the supporting activity increases, if you want to make a certain modifications into your product, then that particular modification, the cost that is being incurred for the modification is called as an incremental cost. Now, example, okay, there is a certain function at your home, and whenever this particular function has been organized, what happens? You have a certain plan of action. That is, what will be the menu for the lunch, what will be the menu for the dinner, what will be the takeaway gifts that will be given to the people who will be visiting the home, what will be the cost of this particular decoration, what will be the cost of the articles, promotions, and so on, what you will be preparing for, what will be the cost of clothes, what will be the cost of a hall that you want to hire for. Such type of plan of action you have prepared. Now, after a point of time, what happened? There, all of a sudden, you get a certain idea that such type of decoration needs to be done, such type of arrangement needs to be done, certain changes in the program or the level of activity has to be undertaken, and accordingly, you start making the changes. So here in this case, any activity which has been undertaken after the plan of action has been approved, after you start your manufacturing activity, production activity, or your actual business activity, the cost that has been or the changes in the manufacturing activity, that particular type of cost is called as an incremental cost. Sunk cost. Now, sunk cost is that particular consideration wherein over a period of time, what happened, you have made a certain plan of action that this type of cost are being associated, this type of cost are being identified, and it has to be incurred as and when it is being required. But after over a period of time, what happened, the cost is not required to be expended, and accordingly your money lies idle. That is, what do you, when you have when you are projecting for manufacturing, you have a thought for a certain consideration that this type of chemical or this type of material or this type of commodity will be required. But when actual manufacturing was being undertaken, the raw material was not being required, and accordingly over a period of time the raw material lies same into the godown. It is kept as unutilized. So here in this case, the type of cost which has been incurred, the type of cost which is not been used over a period of time, that particular type of cost is called as an sunk cost. So the costs which are unaltered by the change in the level of nature of business activity are called as an sunk cost. So this cost cannot be decreased or increased also. The complete business is going into losses whenever these type of costs are into existence. Historical cost and replacement cost. Now, historical cost, now as you have seen the concept of past and future cost, same is the concept of the historical and replacement cost. So any cost that has been incurred for an historical perspective, that is for purchasing of any activity which is related to the past consideration, such type of cost is called as an historical cost. So it is the cost which is incurred for acquiring an asset. Now, whenever you say that you have purchased an asset, that is land, building, plant, machinery, furniture, fixtures, and so on. We do not purchase these commodities or these particular items or articles very frequently. Once a machinery has been purchased, it lasts forever in a business organization for around 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, and so on. You purchase the furniture for your home or purchase the furniture for your business. We use it for around 2 to 3 years, and accordingly, after a point of time, we replace that particular furniture. So in this way, any cost that has been incurred for an historical activity, that is which can be incurred for a longer period, point of duration, such type of cost is called as an historical cost. And replacement cost is that consideration wherein which has been incurred for a certain replacement activity. Now you have purchased a certain furniture for your office, and after 3 years or after 5 years, what do you want to do? You have to renovate your office. Now, when do you want to renovate your office? What do? You start selling the furniture which is available with you in scrap material or in a second-hand activity. Now you go to the market, and accordingly you paste a certain advertisements on different websites for selling the particular goods and services of certain commodities. So any cost that has been incurred for the selling of a certain commodity which was earlier purchased and now you have to sell this particular commodity, that particular type of cost is called as an replacement cost. So I have purchased a certain furniture, and accordingly I want to sell this particular furniture. Now what do? I place a certain advertisement on OLX, and accordingly the advertisement has been placed on that particular platform. Now any cost that has been incurred either for the agent, any cost that has been incurred for payment for an OLX activity, or any of the vendor who has been appointed for the selling purpose consideration, that particular type of cost is called as a replacement cost. So what is the consideration? What is the benefit? There is no benefit associated with this concern, but the vendor or the purchaser, but the person who has purchased this commodity usually go into losses, or usually gives a certain amount of money which was been purchased in a less amount. That is, if you have purchased a furniture for rupees 10,000, then you are tempting that you are willing to sell this particular furniture at around 8,000, 5,000 or 4,000, whatever may be the cost that you have identified. So in this way, any activity has been incurred, any cost that will be incurred for a certain replacement activity, that particular type of cost is called as a replacement cost. Shutdown and abandonment cost. So shutdown cost is that particular type of cost which has been incurred for closing down the business activity. So if you are thinking of closing down your business, if you want to shut down your business completely, then any cost that has been incurred for the shutdown of a business activity, that particular type of cost is called as a shutdown cost. Abandonment cost, on the other hand, the costs which are incurred due to the retiring altogether a plant from use, which is known as abandonment. Now, what is the consideration? That is, now in case of a shutdown, you are just shutting down the entire business activity. But in case of abandonment cost, what you are doing, you are just closing one specific sector or one specific segment of that particular business. That is, one of the department, if it is not functioning, one of the product is not functioning properly, then if you want to close down, if you want to shut down that particular business activity, that particular unit, the cost that has been incurred for that particular consideration is called as an abandonment cost. Next thing is the out of pocket and book cost. So item of expenditure which involve the cash payments or the cash transfer of the both, and such type of consideration wherein you have to pay actually cash into existence, that particular type of cost is called as an out of pocket cost. Now purchase of, for example, stationery, purchase of screw, purchase of small scale articles, purchase of milk, sugar, purchase of certain commodities for the day-to-day requirement, purchase of the certain commodities for the office staffs and so on. Such type of cost wherein you are making a small payment which is always done in cash perspective, that particular type of cost is called as an out of pocket cost. Out of pocket cost. Book cost is that particular type of cost which is specifically recorded in the books of accounts. Now for example, you have various books of accounts called as journal, ledger, trial balance, trading account, profit and loss account, balance sheet, and so on. So any type of book, any type of cost which has been recorded either in your subsidiary books or either in your accounting books of entry, then that particular type of cost is called as a book cost. In case of out of pocket cost, you may maintain a record, you may not maintain a record. That is for the cash transaction. Then, for example, you went to a particular shop and accordingly you purchased a certain mineral water bottle for a certain guest that you have been associated. Now, bottle costing rupees 20 rupees. You may produce a bill or you may not produce a bill also, but you make a payment in cash, which is for a business purpose. So here in this case, for this consideration, the record can be maintained, record cannot be maintained, the bill can be taken, the bill cannot be taken. It depends on your consideration, your understanding with the business organizations. But in case of a certain consideration wherein you want to, if you want to make a proper record of the transaction, you want to make a proper record of the business activities, then here in this case, the book cost is into existence wherein the different types of subsidiary books have to be maintained and you have to record the each and every cost into the business organization, whichever book that you are referring for. Total, average, and marginal cost. So I've already explained what is the concept of total cost, average cost, and marginal cost in my first lecture when you were in classes. So total cost, which has been associated with the all the total factors of production. So all the production for the factors of goods, production of goods and services, the total required value of resources presents the total cost. So all the cost that has been associated for the manufacturing activity, such type of cost is called as a total cost. Average cost, it is divided by obtaining the total cost by the total output. So whatever total cost that was been incurred by the firm, and accordingly what was the total output that was been gained by a certain firm or that was gained by the organization, such type of cost which has been incurred for the business purpose, it's called as an average cost. Marginal cost is the cost which is associated with the production of additional 1 unit. So after the break-even point. Now in case of break-even point, what we have seen, that a point where demand and supply match together or match each other. So any activity which has been conducted, any cost that has been incurred after the marginal equilibrium, after the point of break-even point, then such type of cost is called as an average. That type of cost is called as an marginal cost. Private, social, accounting, and economic cost. Private cost which has been incurred for the specific firm, for the business organization, wherein if you are producing a certain firm, if you are a certain activity, and accordingly if you are the cost which is incurred for producing a commodity or services, that type of cost is called as a private cost. So for your private purpose, for your private consumption activity, if you are incurring a certain type of cost, that particular type of cost is called as a private cost. Now you must have heard a certain concept called as a drawings. Drawings is a particular consideration. What does the partner do? What does the business firm do? The owner of the business takes the commodity for his own personal consumption or for his own personal requirement. So any activity, any cost which will be incurred for the personal consumption, personal business requirement, such type of cost is called as a private cost. Social cost, any cost that has been incurred for a social activity or for a social consideration, that is for the time of production, that is at the time of production, whenever the goods have been manufactured in a bulk quantity, you donate a certain activity of these particular goods and services to the public or to the general people, or you give away certain cost activity for the general purpose or the charity purpose. So such type of cost which has been incurred for the social benefit, for the benefit of the society or the public at large, that particular type of cost is called as a social cost. Accounting and economic, the cost which is recorded into the books of accounts is called as an accounting cost, wherein you have a proper valuation to it, you have a proper debit and credit effect, and accordingly you have to see about in which books of accounts the cost, which cost has to be recorded. Economic cost is that particular type of cost wherein you have to determine whether the cost is beneficial, whether the cost is affordable or not affordable, and based on the affordability you have to decide which cost has to be incurred. That is comparison of prices of different products or different commodities. That is, a product should be purchased in Pune market, it should be purchased in Mumbai market, what quantity has to be purchased, whether we have to purchase 100 quantity, 1000 quantity, bulk quantity, smaller quantity, what is the perishability of the goods, what is the duration of the goods that has been required, how much of the goods of amounts on how much of the stock of the goods must be maintained, and so on. So all these types of cost which have been associated with the economic consideration, wherein you are trying to save additional amount, additional penny of a business organization, then that particular type of cost is called as an economic cost which is incurred or which is into existence. Okay, any difficulty at this stage?
No, sir.
Okay, chalo. We'll conclude with the lecture. Thank you everyone for joining. Good day. Sharing the link of attendance in the chat box.